my mood, tryna steal swag. Whoa, 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 whoa. I got a big bag, I got a big Mac. Gotta take them boys to school, cause they skip class. They be tryna hold my mood, tryna steal swag.
What's going on, fellas, man?
What's good? What's good? What's
up,
good,
guys?
world? What's good? It's been a
Not too
minute.
much.
It's been a minute.
Sipping on a nice little drink over here, man.
What's that? Pineapple juice?
No, man, no. Fellas, how was y'all weekends, man? It's been 2 weeks, fellas. How y'all been, man?
I'm chilling, man.
It's been that long?
Yeah.
Since we did a shot clock, yeah.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. We ain't did one since after the icebreaker.
Yep.
Been chilling. I've been chilling, man. People might not like me today after I say what I say. I'm using my whole time not interviewing nobody. I got something to get off my chest. I'm saying names, so people might not like me today. You feel me? And I really don't care. It ain't for everybody to like me. You feel me? But I'm gonna say what I got.
Hey, well, I'm gonna say this first.
Hey, Mr. Dudes, you can watch Snowfall, man. Hey,
I've been doing good. We didn't see each other for Palm, Sunday. So since my boy G-Rob, my boy here Rob finna act crazy, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say a prayer for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure we bless the show. Make sure we good. You know what I'm saying?
I'll make sure y'all comments pop up, man. I control that part, man. So,
but I did enjoy this past weekend with the broadcast in the game. Yesterday, the championship game at the Kingwood tournament that Brian Jolivet put on was a good, tournament and everything. So, got a lot of people responding to it. They liked the video, like the commentating we did. So
yeah.
I really enjoyed doing that because it's been a minute since we got a chance to commentate a game. Make sure to hit us up. You know what I'm saying? We need it. Ball so hard commentating, live broadcast at any games. Hit us up.
Hey,
So
yeah, Yellow Meanie, he ready to get to it, Mr. Dudes, man. Go ahead, G-Dot.
I just want to, give y'all flowers because that's really major. With flowers, that's really major because it's hard to be recognized out here as an independent streaming entity, and y'all was streaming a tournament, and that's really, really major.
Yeah.
So heads up to you guys. I didn't get to listen to it, but I think I retweeted it. I was just in the mix, but I definitely wanted to tip my hat because, like I say, I like to see people.
Yeah, we're gonna get Rob the full screen.
full screen,
Damien, man.
Yeah, that was a good stream. I was looking at that. I probably watched this almost the whole second half up to the end. That was a good stream.
Appreciate that, Coach Bird, man.
Big shout out, Coach
Appreciate
Bird.
that, Mr. Raspberry. Go ahead, G-Dot.
Yeah. Shout out Coach Bird and the UC Coast of Totes not Silts, I'm sorry. Colts. They made
man,
the
you call them the Celts. He ain't in St. Thomas no more, man.
They're both C's and they both are horse-themed schools, so forgive me. I apologize.
And they both was good this year. And they both was good this year because Coach Rob did a good job. Coach Bird did a good job with his teams up there. Did a really good job.
Girls and playoffs.
Yeah, no, he did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout out. Excuse me, to Coach Bird, man. Before we dig into Carol's Corner, real quick, man, just want to highlight a couple of videos from kids from this weekend.
Ball so hard, I'm shocked too. Ball so hard, I'm shocked too. Ball so hard, I'm shocked too.
So just wanted to highlight some of them kids that played in the Kingwood Live. The first video, Joey Hubbard, 6'2" guard, goes to New Canaan. He can shoot the ball really well. As you're seeing, he has a nice little handle also. He made a guy fall in the slip and slide action going on the floor. Zaire Walker, 6'2" combo guard that goes to Westbury Christian. Had a really good showing whole weekend. He played really solid, especially against Drive Nation Houston Black. As you see, he was talking trash at the end, saying they couldn't guard him. I think he lit them up for about 29 points. Really solid kid. And then Duke Maniki just wanted to really that dunk, that body that he had at the end, man. Nasty, man. Very athletic kid. Got up there, was destroying the rim all weekend, but that one, that body at the end of that was really nasty. And then also, the best part of my weekend was my daughter who qualified for USAG regional. So, just want to say, shout out to my daughter, man.
Hey.
She did a thing at state and she's going to regionals, and people been asking. So this is from her very first meet from the year. And so that was from her very first meet of the year, not this last meet of state. But at state, she did personal best in 3 of the events. A lot of high nines. So just happy for her. She went out there and
Hey,
that to me that was the biggest thing, most important thing for this whole entire weekend.
Shout out to my girl
I'm
dads. You know what I'm saying?
gymnastics to cover gymnastics, bro. It's a lot more peaceful than basketball.
Oh yeah,
That's something
gymnastics is a lot. It is peaceful, man.
Hey, boy, for
Them
real,
gymnastics
boy. Hey,
fans don't be on the timeline like that, so that might be a little bit better.
you know what I'm saying?
Gymnastics is much more peaceful. Mr. News, appreciate that on the whole commentate, man. Appreciate it. Coach Bird, you always know anytime you need anything, contact me, man.
Big facts. It's my guy right there.
Nah, I didn't see this one. I must have missed this one.
Oh no, I seen it. It was on Coach DJ retweeted it. One of the refs started swinging on a parent, and then the parent kid jumped in. Then somebody came from the stands and jumped in. So you had 3 people beating up the ref, and it was a little kid like coming from the bench, grabbed his bag, seen his dad or whoever getting to fight the ref, and then it was just like I was like, oh man, this is getting out of hand, bro. This is getting out of hand.
Yeah, I missed that.
But the referee did. The referee was the one who threw the first couple punches, though. Referee was.
Oh well, if you swing first and you got mobbed, I don't feel bad for you after that. That's between you and God on that one.
Told G the other day, yesterday we were broadcasting. It's 2 levels when it comes to referees, bro. It's 2 different levels, man. It's 2 different levels, man.
Bro, these kids ain't worth. I'll walk out on a game reffing before I fight a parent. It ain't worth it.
I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna check out the video, man. Man, that's crazy. Hey, man. I don't know what's going on right now in the world.
For real. Hey,
man, we got somebody's corners coming up next, man. You see, Hoodie Carroll, man.
Carroll, man. Ready, baby. Hey, pound for pound, the best fighter ever. Pound for pound, the best fighter ever. Hey, my boy finna come out like Tyson. Ding, 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 ding. We had a lot of Tyson fights this weekend also. Twitter was hot this weekend.
Oh, man.
Carroll's Corner, y'all. Let's get hop into it.
One thing you'll never see me do, and that's giving up. That money, you right, can't get enough. Pump pressure to the game, and I ain't letting up.
What's going on, everybody, man? First off, let me start this disclaimer out. The thoughts that I'm about to say are in no way the thoughts of Coach Anthony Willis, Extra Eyes Media, Gary Carter, the Baller Plug, or G-Day, Jeffrey Day, Hoop Scout, Ball So Hard / RCS Sports. This is me and solely me alone. These are my thoughts. We, as a city, have to do better. I ain't talking about no AAU right now. I ain't talking about none of that. I'm just saying adults, people in this city. If you live in the greater metropolitan Houston city area, we got to stop worrying about what's going on in other places and solidify what's going on here first. I'm always on Twitter. I might not say that all the time. You know, I know everybody who does what I do in this business. Now, they might not know me, but I know pretty much everybody that is a significant part of media coverage in the state of Texas, whether it be Kellen Buffington, Paul Miranda, Brandon Jenkins, Unnie, Alan Branch, Andre Poe, Blue, Big E, Tone, Alamo City Hoops in the Syntex, San Antonio, Austin area. I know all these people. Some I know personally, some I don't know personally, but I know them, right? We got to stop as a city comparing ourselves, and I'm gonna say Dallas for sure. Everybody want to talk about, well, in Dallas, they ain't doing that in Dallas. They ain't doing this in Dallas. Man, we got to worry about what's going on here, man. Everybody has their turn when it comes to players and teams in the state. Everybody got their way of doing things in their own city. We got to stop worrying about who got 2 gold balls and we holding one in our hand. Well, they got 2 of them. Let's get what's going on down here right first. They good. We do things differently down this well 45, and that's okay. We can do things differently. We put out public rankings. They don't. That's okay. That's the way they choose to run their shop where they from. Let them be. Stop coming to events or talking to media and start talking about, oh, well, that ain't how they do it in Dallas. Well, why don't you go to Dallas then? Move to Dallas if you don't like how things are going in Houston. If you don't feel like the media is giving you enough coverage, then move to Dallas. That's all you have to do. Drive down 45. You'll be in the great metropolitan area of Dallas, Texas. Arlington, they got places all over for you. But stop comparing us to what they do in Dallas, because they don't do that up there. They don't say, well, why y'all not videoing like Left Island? Or Michael Timmons, why you not videoing like G-Day? They don't care about that. We got to get more unified in what we doing down here. Second thing, you can say I work for, I'm affiliated, whatever you want to say with OTR Exposure. Everybody know that's Marcus Sloan. I am the first employee of that company. Jeffrey Day is a subsidiary of Jim Hicks now. He works in conjunction with RCS Sports and Ball So Hard. If Jimmy and Sloan don't want to come together no more, let's stop trying to put them together. Ken Gamble, this is not a shot at you, because your tweet was organic and it was cool. I understand where you was coming from. I'm just saying, everybody with the, man, they making us choose, man. I don't know where to go. I don't know if I should go over here. I don't know if I should go over there. Look, McDonald's sell hamburgers and so does Burger King, and they both don't taste the same, and they don't care. Neither does Wendy's, Whataburger, Coca-Cola and Pepsi don't taste the same. Cheerios and Corn Flakes don't taste the same, but they right next to each other. So what, you walk down the cereal all day and say, man, there's too many choices. They making me too. If you want to go to one or you want to go to the other one, then go. Stop all the complaining and whining, man. Y'all complaining and whining about the wrong thing. We missing. Y'all, let me say this. I'm going to say this. And this ain't no disrespect to Marcus Sloan or Jim Hicks. Because somebody from Dallas said something about Jim Hicks a couple of years ago, and I went out publicly and said something back to them. So let's not act like, oh, I'm saying something about Jimmy or I'm saying something about Sloan. I got a relationship with both of them. But y'all so worried about them two, y'all ain't even seeing people like Jeffrey Day, Doug Jones, Ray Meach, Gary Carter. That's actually in the field, myself. That's doing the work. That's actually, y'all so busy trying to put Sloan, y'all trying to start East Coast, West Coast so bad. Oh, Sloan, you see what Jimmy said? Jimmy, you seen what Sloan said? But then when it comes to the public light, everybody want to say, oh, we just want the city to be together. No, you don't, because you were just telling Jimmy, you were just sending screenshots of something that Sloan sent you to Jimmy the other day. Or you were just telling Sloan what Jimmy was saying on the podcast. People got to start being real, man. I ain't got no beef with nobody, but I'm not scared to pull up and talk to anyone. Ask Coach Favre at Maid Creek when he had the discrepancy about what was said on the show. I didn't even say it. But when I saw him, I immediately talked to him about it. And we agreed to disagree, but I understood his point of what he was saying. That's all it is. We all grown, man. We got to stop worrying about what other people doing and start policing our own selves, man. I don't care if nobody don't like me. I'm not here to get a Nike deal. I'm not here for no AAU teams to let me follow them around. If I get blackballed and X'd out for all that, then so be it. But I'm going to look at myself in the mirror and know that I organically was doing it for the culture, for what it was meant to be, which is the kids, not myself. That's why when I go to events, I don't even want people to know who I am. I mean, they are now because I'm in the public light, but I don't go there to say, hey, man, let me see how many people can recognize me. I don't give a damn about that. I ain't there for that. I don't care if you don't think I know what I'm doing. The college coaches do because they call my phone all day. Because I know that my platform ain't as big as everybody. But if you put me against anybody in this state, pound for pound, I don't do event operations. But if we talk about scouting and evaluating and working, I'm in the top, however you want to put it. I know that myself. I have that self-confidence. And anybody else that does it should have, if you ask Jimmy, he should say the same damn thing. Doug, Sloan, and on and Courtney Dean, on and on and on and on and on. Because if you didn't have it, you shouldn't be doing it. But y'all too busy worried about what the freak going on down 45. I don't got nothing against Dallas people. The Dallas-Houston thing, that's funny to me. But we got to start worrying about what's going on in this city. We got media in this city. Also, I want to address this. I ain't going to say them by name. Stop going to other places and then getting mad about Houston media not always being there to talk about you. We know who the players is in this city. We ain't supposed to be talking about the 5-star players all the time. That's why it's dissension amongst our peers to where you got people tweeting that a kid like Bryce Griggs or Terrence Arsenault might have had a bad weekend and now they not considered to be top 5 in this state. That's blasphemy. It ain't seven better people than them 2 kids right there. And I don't always like what go on, but it ain't 7, 6, or 5 better kids in this state than Bryce Griggs and Terrence Arsenault after one weekend. This man, Terrence Arsenault, went 31-0 and hit 2 of the biggest shots ever in the state championship history. And you got people telling me he's not in the top 5, a class of 2022, not in the top 7. Get out of here. But that's because people down here so worried about what's going on in Dallas. Like they mouth is a prayer book. We got to do better, man. As a community, as a basketball community, as a city, we have to do better. And like I said before, I'm not here for anyone to like me. Before anybody knew who my name was, my MO was working. So when your talent outweighs your problems, people got to deal with you. So whether you like me or not, my talent outweighs whatever problems you think I have, and the college coach is going to ask my opinion. Believe that. I'm here to help you guys, but I'm also here. I'm not going to pacify y'all at the same time. I'm going to tell it like it is. We got to start doing better, period. Whether it be Sloan, whether it be Jimmy, go to the event, be happy with the event that you chose. Don't be going there talking about, man, I'm finna go to Sloan stuff and see how I compare to Brian Jolivet, or I'm finna go to Rick Nelson event and see if it's up to par with Sloan. Who cares? That's what you spent your $400 to go see if it was up to par? Like I said before, I worked for OTR and I done broke bread with Jimmy before. I don't got no beef with nobody. And if you got beef with me, just come talk to me. That's it. But the worry about what the Gasso doing, what Buff doing, you don't never see them worry about what we doing. It's a reason, man. We got to think, man. We got to think, man. I'm done. Y'all can talk about it how y'all want to talk about it. I'm done.
Pound for pound, the best fighter in the world, Rock.
Hey, man. Rob, you was turned, man. We here for it, Rob.
And
Boy.
I mean, I know y'all be in Dallas more than me. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I had to say that. And I'm not scared to go to Dallas. I just sometimes I don't have time to go to those events. But I support everybody. Like I said, I know all of those guys, whether they know me or not. I have to know who my peers are in these times. You know what I'm saying? I knew who Jeff was before I even introduced myself to him. I knew who Gary was. I knew who Coach Anthony was. I know everybody. I do my homework. We ain't got to stop worrying about what's going on down there and start worrying about what's going on in the city.
Melvin Deuce said Dallas food ain't like Houston food, man.
Hey, bro. Turn that up louder. I ain't even gotta say nothing. I'm not gonna piggyback. I'm not. Hey, turn it up louder, cause we've had these conversations where the game's the game. It's cool, but narratives are changing. That's all I'm gonna say. Narratives are changing, and but yeah, I don't. If they blackball you, Rob, they gotta blackball me too.
And I'm here for it, man. Sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself for the betterment of the greater good as a whole. And I was one of the first people when G-Day got here, before he got here, that was saying, man, I just want you. I mean, you can ask Alex Pugh, Marlon Lowe, Courtney did. You can ask all these people I was going around saying, man, I want the city to be back together. How can we put the city back together? Man, what can we do to put the city back together? All that campaign was, man, the city ain't gonna be back together. It ain't. At a point in time I had to get through my head, it's probably not. People keep on saying they want to see Jimmy and Sloan do events. They did events already, and y'all didn't come. The Christmas crossover the first year wasn't packed, and we had the number one pick in the NBA draft there for 2 days. Coach Anthony on my line, your son played against him. That thing, Delmo wasn't packed. It wasn't skied up to the rafters with people saying, oh, Jimmy and Sloan doing the event. Let me rush over here and go see this. But now that the pettiness is coming out and the back and forth is coming out, now everybody got all the excuses in the world. But then when the lights ain't on and the cameras ain't on, you call up Sloan. Sloan, you heard what Jimmy and Rob said about you on the Chop Shop today? And then when you get on the Chop Shop and Jimmy say something about Sloan, I be seeing it. You laughing. You got your little laughing emojis. But then you right back on Sloan page, liking everything he say. When he put up some about anything, y'all messy. Y'all ain't really here to fix no problem. Y'all messy. A lot of y'all just go to these tournaments just to see what type of mess gonna happen. Y'all ain't really here to support no kids, man. Straight up. And I don't want to be yelling all day, but damn it, we gotta do better, man. This is my city. I was born and raised to, like I said. However, I don't no disrespect to nobody. This is how I feel as a man. Pound for pound, if we talking scouting and evaluation, I am one of the top dudes in this state. And I don't care if you know me or you don't. The college coaches know me from NAIA all the way to Division I. So it don't matter. We got to do better. Period. That man, the man at the top of the screen with the bald head, with the microphone in his head, he is a part of RCS Sports. We get on here every week, every other week, and work together. But y'all don't say, well, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Coach Willis. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Ray Meach. Thank you, Marlon Lowe. Thank you, Alex Pugh. Thank you, Courtney Dion. Thank you, D. King. Thank you, Jaquarta. Thank you. Y'all just worry about why Sloan and Hicks don't want to work together. Why Sloan and Hicks don't want to work together? Because they don't. Because they grown. They don't have to. It's okay. RCS been around for a long time. OTR look like it's gonna be prosperous for a while. I'm sure they not losing no sleep without talking to each other.
Thank you.
So
Jesus don't miss the devil. I'm pretty sure they was cool.
Rob,
They
you
still,
need
they
some of this
still
to
cool.
chill out, to calm down,
They,
man.
Nah,
they,
I'm good.
they still cool.
I'm good. I'm good,
They
man.
probably have cordial conversations.
I'm good. You got people from Dallas. They getting to say things about Houston because we not protecting our own backyard, man.
Man, you saw that on the timeline?
They talk about,
I took a daytime nap. I had to learn not to respond.
They don't like Austin. They don't like Austin. They didn't want Cam and Bereed. And Cam went to go play with his friends, man. Austin left Dallas to come back to Houston and play for the Hoops. He left Southern Assault starting to come off the bench for the Hoops. So I can't give y'all all the behind the scenes stuff, but let's just stop getting on.
But that's the issue. The issue is no one really knows what goes on or what's being said or who, sometimes some kids don't even want to play for certain teams. And they think it's because they don't want the kid. Nah, some kids don't want to play for certain teams. You know what I'm saying? And the biggest thing, I think the biggest problem is, Rob, I agree, is we always care about what the next man doing instead of what we got to do. We done had so many talks, so many different angles to approach everything. Everything, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like, from a lot of stuff we talk about, we say on here, I think the biggest issue in the city of Houston is we always worrying about the next man. We always worrying about what this person have and what this person don't have. And I mean, I learned this a long time ago. And this is the realest stuff that ever happened to me. I chose to go work for RL9 and things went the way they went. And when I walked away, I didn't say nothing to nobody. I ain't talked to nobody. I didn't even let people know I walked away. For about a good minute, people thought I was still there. And it's because it was nobody else's damn business. Whatever happened between me and them happened between them, and we all good. We still cool. And for me, we
really not nobody's business.
We are literally across 290. They're on 290 in Fry. I'm on 290 in Spring Cypress. I got 6 teams. They got like 10 teams. It don't matter. Like it didn't stop what I was doing. It didn't stop what they was doing. And when I see Twin, Kid, all them, it was good. Hey, keep on. Like it don't matter. Some of the same kids still talk to both people, and it is what it is. But the biggest issue I think sometimes is that most of the time, everybody is caring about what the next man is doing and what he got. I don't look at every nigga's shoes and be like, hey, bro, he got them shoes on. No, I look at my fire that's on my feet and I'll be okay. That is what it is. Like it's getting to the point where we are developing and creating kids to worry about what is the next man getting. And that's the biggest problem because at some time we got to realize, bro, opportunity is out there for everybody. Whatever it comes down to, however it goes, that's what happens, man. And sometimes we got to get better with that situation because it's funny because, Rob, what I'm going to talk about today, you and I already tapped on because, Hey.
And see, I equate it to this. You remember how, a lot of kids probably don't remember that because they get to stay up however late they want to now. But I'm just going to speak for me. So when you saying about a lot of people don't know the behind the scenes, it's because they don't need to know. Like, no, they don't. I remember it was a long time in my life before I knew what 9:30 at night looked like. So it's like you always, your mama, it's 8:30, you know you got to go to bed. You was wondering like, man, what is they doing in there at 9:30? Like what's going on at 10 o'clock? You didn't need to know. It wasn't your time to know yet.
Hey, what? I didn't know that BET had an uncut. So I was like 19, 20 years old. I just didn't know.
Imagine if you knew that at 14. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
hey, but like what Rob just said, when I was 14, 15, hey, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'm going to sleep, bro. I'm getting like, I ain't up till 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning, except for like on weekends or something like that. But I still, again, I didn't know, bro. Like, that's just what it is, bro. Like,
and if somebody came to them and said, hey man, this is going on, they'll be like, oh, whoa, hold on, man, that's too much information. Like the stuff that passed through all these dudes' ears on here, it ain't for the general public to hear. First of all, everybody don't need that type of knowledge or what they would perceive to be power,
bro,
to know what's going on anyway.
It's a lot that shouldn't be said. Like I had this conversation with the Gasso staff when we did the interview. I said we sometimes it's too much information given out. Sometimes things need to stay off the record, and people don't keep things off the record. Like the conversation was about altercations this past weekend. Okay, if everybody knew that it was an altercation, well then why did you just go put it on Twitter? For what? You could have kept that off Twitter. Like, these kids have a hard enough job every day making it through everyday life. Now you got to fight of them on Twitter for what? You damaging event operators, coaches, kids, programs, but you don't realize that because everybody want to go viral. I got it. And I'm the wrong one to be talking about you shouldn't be trying to go viral. I get it, the irony, right? But at the same time, there's certain shit that I don't do. Like if I know a kid is hurt, you will never know that a kid is hurt because I'm not gonna tweet it out. Like if I know, perfect example, somebody twisted their ankle. They didn't really play good this weekend. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna tweet it out and damage the kid's stock. But it's a lot of people who don't have couth. And a lot of people that don't know what couth is, that just lets you know where media is going in the first place. Like, like it's crazy out here. Me and Bino had some very personal conversations on that sideline watching Southern Assault. I'd be a fool to come up here and tell you what we talked about. It's nobody's business. But at the same time, it gives perspective to what we are watching as media evaluators, analysts, article writers, photojournalists, whatever. It gives us perspective. But everything isn't for the common crowd, the average everyday fan. If you got to buy a wristband, it's certain stuff you don't need to know, my man.
No, for sure. No, I agree wholeheartedly. And it's because of the pettiness. And it's because of the I can't think of the word. It's just the unprofessionalism that you would just go spread somebody's business. This is not a rumor mill. This ain't the National Enquirer. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example. Sorry, Rod.
No, go ahead.
Coach D coaching his ass off, right, at the Gasso, right? Them refs was horrible as hell. He was giving them refs the business. He could have got a tick. Am I going to tweet that? What I'm going to tweet that for? Too much information, right?
Yeah, that ain't for everybody to know.
That taints what the kids done and all the kids that played in that game. We know referees are horrible. He had an extremely bad set of referees. Probably the second worst set of referees I saw this whole weekend. And they just made bad call after bad, but they played through it and they persevered and they won a championship. So instead of highlighting the referees, I highlighted the kids because that's who it's for. Exactly. And a lot of people lose sight of that.
Because if you would have been talking about the referees, like you said, that would have took away from the job that D King did coaching the kids. That would have took away from the job that the kids did playing the game. Because all the general public would have been, well, Gary, what happened with the referees? What DK do? You ain't even worried about the man that won the Gasso. The man that won the Gasso. You stuck on did he cuss out the referee? That's all you worry about?
And he had a rightfully good.
I know,
good
but
choice.
everybody have bad moments though. That don't mean you go, man, I seen Gary or I seen Jiff and he, man, come on, man, we got to stop that. We got to, that's that social media stuff. I don't want to say the word stuff, but that's that social media age where you feel like everything's supposed to be captured on camera. Everything's supposed to be talked about. Everything ain't supposed to be talked about. Because sometimes you talk about stuff and people pull up and things happen. Because everybody don't just talk on social media. Some people like to talk in real life.
Ain't nobody trying to pull up though, Rob.
But Rob, there's one thing that we also have to do too, though. We do have to start holding each other accountable, because there are things that some people you stupid Gary. I will say there are some things that needs to be kept not on social media, and certain conversations and certain stuff needs to not be on social media. And the reason why I say that is that if, like you said, Rob, if somebody got beef with you, hey, they can direct message you, they can hit you up, whatever, get in touch and have that conversation. And once y'all had that conversation, leave it at that. Like, you know, don't even go any farther with the situation. But there is a lot of stuff that do go on social media that I feel shouldn't be even discussed on social media sometimes. Like, just, you know, once those people know what's going on, that's it. Like, let that be. But I think there's a lot of beef on social media that needs to stop as well. And we need to start holding each other accountable from a standpoint, not to be in other people's business, not to be in a business, and not to be like, oh man, you shouldn't do that. But it's one of those things that I feel like, for instance, Rob, like if I like say you put something on social media, let's just say, you have every right to say what you want to say. But if I feel like you shouldn't say it, I can pick up the phone and, hey, Rob, man, come on, man, don't do that next time. Like, hey, a couple people have hit me up and hold me accountable for something, because I know me, like, I almost went off on a kid 2 weeks ago because he retweeted something and used my hashtag in his retweet saying he moving forward, not laterally. And I almost was like, no, that's still laterally, my G. But I let it slide. But it's one of them situations that sometimes you have to just be the bigger person and realize that some stuff, and just be like, hey, bro, let them do what they do. And I think for the city of Houston, we thrive off of mess. Like, we've always been that like, we thrive off of the next man stabbing the next man.
Restless of basketball, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what we do. Bro. Like, we thrive off of the next man downfall. We thrive off of it. We try to make sure that this next person don't succeed. We try to make sure that, oh, he lose his deal. Or we try to make sure that, oh man, he stopped doing it. Like, sometimes I feel like that's just not needed at some point. Because whatever going on, the people who know, they know. And that's all that matters. Like, they know, hey, whoever beefing, they beefing. It is what it is.
A lot of ego. A lot of people gotta see. I'm not a high maintenance guy, right? So I don't have to be. And everybody is their own man, right? Everybody their own man. A lot of people gotta check their egos though. See, this is a pissing contest. That's what it turned into. It turned into a pissing contest. Oh, well, you said something about me, I'm gonna say something about you. You tweeted about me, I'm gonna tweet about you. You said something about me on your platform, I'm gonna say something to you about my own platform. If that's how they want to handle that, then let them handle it. I'm just directly speaking of, you know, and I'm just being all the way authentic 100, right? I done picked up the phone and called Sloan and said, hey man, what is it gonna take to get a sit down with you and Jimmy, right? I ain't gonna say what he said, but I picked up the phone and said that, right? Then I picked up the phone and I called Jimmy. I said, Jimmy, what is it gonna take for you to get a sit down with Sloan? And he said what he said. When I seen Jimmy in person with G-Day, at my line G-Day, I said, Man, Hicks, I'll be remiss if I ain't ask you. Hey, bro, just because you won. Hold on. Time out. Robert Carroll does no
Hey,
comment.
hold on.
Just because.
Hey, Rob, that's funny.
That's not funny, really. Because I got another
Bro, we
one and another
be in
one.
the gym so much, Rob. It's hard.
I'm not worried about. Have you seen DK here? I'm not worried about DK talking about me, man. I got longest, baby. This is a kid friendly show.
What DK finna be dreadlock gang though.
Longest baby back there is happy with me the way I am like this. DK Damian King. I ain't worried about what you talking about,
that was
bro.
a good icebreaker though, right there, man.
I ain't worried about. Somebody asked a question though. He said, would that be considered as egos? It is. They both got. Come on, man. I'm cool. Like I said, I'm gonna be all the way 1,000. I know you, but I don't know you by that name.
That's Cameron.
I think that's Mr. Burton. I think that's Cameron Burton Daddy. Okay, yeah. Marcus Sloan got a big ego. Jimmy got a big ego. They both do.
Who didn't know that?
I'm just saying. They both
I'm saying honestly, like I told G that this the other day, dog, and I don't got no problem saying this, dog. They cut from the same coat. They both want. They both want. Like at the end of the day, what they both want, everybody know. Like they in it for the. You know what I'm saying? Like they doing big time stuff because that's what they want to do. So at some point,
they birthdays by each other. They birthdays close to you. They might be the same sign or something.
That's why we all are the same sign. And I say this. I'm gonna say this with my chest. Them niggas ain't the only ones that's doing something big in the city. I don't even know why we even giving them that much attention. All due respect, but they ain't the only ones that's doing something big. And I said that with my chest. So,
but that's what I was saying earlier.
This is really the conversation I really want to have. Who cares? Because there's other quality people you can go and get quality services from. Apple ain't the only people selling computers.
That's what
Facebook ain't the only social media platform. Twitter ain't the only social media. So all I'm saying is it's a free market. No disrespect to what they do, but they ain't the only ones. It ain't no conglomerate. Like it's just Costco and Sam's. And if so, I know Extra Eyes is the Walmart because we don't even be charging like that. So it don't matter.
Y'all taking all the time?
We just keeping it a buck.
The next one for you, G-Day, say the city need DJ. The city need G-Day, man. That's what CME say. The city need G-Day.
Yeah, he say he want to hear your perspective, G-Day.
No. I'm here, man. My perspective on it all is you're a man at the end of the day. You want to carry yourself however you choose to carry yourself. For me, I'm not one who's big on beef. If you got a problem, like people talk when I first came here, people talked about me, but they never said nothing to my face though. I'm not trying to sound like I'm a tough guy or anything like that, but I am like I'm that guy. Like I do want the fisticuffs. Like just keeping it real. I'm usually quiet, mellow. But if it comes down to that, that's who I am. That's my real character. Because I don't do that. Let's go back and forth stuff. That's not me. I don't have a problem with none of them. I respect Hicks. I respect Sloan. No issues. I can call either one. No problem. That's between them. I have nothing to do with that. My name's not being drug into it, so that's all that matters. Because I'm the type of person you gotta come see me face to face. We either gonna talk about it, you want to throw down. It just is what it is. Once again, that's why I try to stay cool, calm, mellow. I'll let a lot of stuff like roll off my shoulders, down my back. Words say you can say whatever you want, but as long as you're not, doing nothing that's going to jeopardize my family, uh, or really people who I consider really close, then it's all love. It's cool, man. So at the end of the day, they don't have to work together. We don't it it does, they don't have to, and that's fine. It's like everybody keeps saying, there's Rob said you go down the cereal aisle, so now you mad because you got to choose between cornflakes, Post-its, or Cheerio. Come on. You just make a decision and you just choose whatever it is you choose, and you just go with it. Coke and Sprite. Coke and Pepsi. I'm a Pepsi guy. Down here's Coke. And guess what? I don't have no issues, but I prefer Pepsi over Coca Cola. It just is what it is. Maybe it's an up north thing. I don't know. Down here, everybody love Whataburger. Hey man, I'm not big on Whataburger, but does that make me less of a person? No, it don't, man. Hey man, these headphones legit, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Shout out to Robert Hatter too, cause he was. I listened to the show back today, and some of the stuff that I talked about, he talked about on there, and he was talking about Gary, myself, G-Day, Doug. So like at the end of the day, I appreciate what he said and the points that he was making too. And it's just like we losing sight of what's going on down here, and we letting not disrespecting nobody's opinion. I respect everybody's opinion, but like I seen somebody say, what I'm thinking about
Trevor Gardens, Melvin Deuce, Trevor Gardens, man.
They said Keontae, Casey, and Arterio is 1, 2, and 3 now in the class of 2022, and I'm like, damn, you came to that assumption off. Yeah, for sure. You taking
That's it right there, man. Taking the fun out of it, man.
Making that assumption off one weekend, like, man. So if we get back to just working and grinding, man, we'll be better as a whole, man. But yeah, I ain't mean to take up this much time with it, but I just had to say what I had to say.
Yeah, I know how I feel about Terrence Arsenal, so that's why I don't comment.
And I'm with D King. Like they taking the fun out of it. Like,
yep.
Like I get a thrill out of going to games.
Yes.
And writing these vows and talking to college coaches. And then when a parent does ask, and I do give them an honest opinion, they may not like it all the time, but if you ask, it's just, guess what? It's my opinion. It's an opinion. My opinion is not the end all be all. It's not. Hicks' opinion is not the end all be all. Sloan's opinion is not the end all be all. They're just opinions. That's all it is. It's an opinion. Like I said, anybody can start a scouting service. Anybody can do a ranking. It's opinion based, but the credibility comes when the college coaches come and all that stuff ends up lining up. When that stuff begins to line up, that's when the credibility comes in. That's when the trust builds with college coaches. And so once you build that trust, then you become more credible. And so that's what it's all about. It's about the credibility. That's it, man. That's it, man.
Next.
So other than that, what good basketball did y'all see this weekend, guys?
Oh shit! I ain't gonna lie. I told G-Day I had a great job, man. Listen, I had a great time Sunday. I mean, my boy Dougie told me I was too excited on Sunday. He was tired after I came to go do the championship game because I ain't did no broadcasting in a while. So I was excited just to be on the opposite side. Like, yeah, I'm coaching and everything, but to be on that opposite side again, just kind of evaluating, watching kids, all for sports. My kinfolk, Coach Bailey, had a really good team out here this weekend that he had about 2 or 3 kids that I really, really liked, really want to get a chance to see them play again. And then, again, Drive Nation Black, they got some of the top, guards, I think, to me that, you got them top 22 guards that people know about, but I feel like they got that next group of guys when you talking about like Joe Frank, Trey Miller, Jalen, and like I said on the commentary, I'm really, really, really liking Raspberry. I'm really, really liking Raspberry. And, you know, the reason I say that is because one thing I believe in is about kids truly development. And when I say truly development is if you a shooter and you've been a shooter your whole pretty much life, and you know you realize you're not going to be tall and you're not a shooting guard, and you can elevate your game to where you bring that next level with facilitating, just like we talked about Harvey early on, like this year, being able to advance better at the point guard. You know, guys like Jake Arnold, them guys, like I seen Cole Raspberry this weekend make some plays into the dunk position on the drop off. He getting more athletic, getting downhill, getting by guys. He just wasn't just selling for a jump shot. He didn't really start shooting to the second half when they really needed him to hit some shots to get back into the game. So that was really impressive, and I really liked it. And it made me, you know, it just made it exciting because I like seeing kids really improve themselves so that college coaches will say that, you know, they are improving the things that they say, hey, they got to get better with to be recruited to play at the next level. So, you know, that's important.
Did you don't know? What about you, man? I know you was up in the DFW area, man, doing double duties, man. What you see, man?
It happened like this, but it wasn't on purpose. I did a lot of girls on Saturday, Sunday, South Hair Invitational. Shout out them guys, those ladies. Sorry. But at the Gasso on the state, I pretty much got to watch Southern Assault play every game, you know, for the most part. And pro skills, new look, new tools. I saw some kids that really jumped out to me that I, you know, seen, but they didn't really stand out. They made an impact this weekend. Johan Traore, big fella from Prolific Prep, plays with Southern Assault. It was early. I don't want to overstate it, but you know, he might got the full set of tools. Can step out, hit the three, has good footwork, won't hesitate to put it on your head. I was really, really impressed with the pieces that Pro Skills put together around Kaysen. They got some players. They got some players that, you know, of course, Cam Corin, St. John's. Not St. John's. John Paul.
John Paul. Yeah.
That mixture with Kaysen, Cruz, him, they have a shooter as well from Team Griffin, TJ something. They look pretty great, like just as a complete team as far as in pieces. So I know it doesn't sound sexy not talking about, you know, the winners, but from what I saw at the Gasso, those hoops JL3 teams, that's like the 15s and the 16s, they different. Like they different because those kids are kind of huge, you know. So their development and growth is gonna be something I've been watching Nephew for a while. Seems like he's starting to kind of put it together a little bit better. I was always kind of but you know, sometimes Nephew don't even look like he want to be on the court, but he was a younger kid then when I saw him. Now he was talking shit with the best of them down there. So you know, it's it's levels. So I got to see some kids evolve. On the girl side, man, y'all. I found some new ones out here, y'all.
You found some new unicorns?
Was a 6'6" in there that, hey, she hit the girl with the drop step. She didn't even, you know how boys like to take that rhythm dribble? She didn't even need, she kept the ball above her head the whole, hey, sounds simple, but it was poetry in motion, bro. So, got to see the 17 and the 16U EYBL teams. Team Lex is definitely one of the top teams in the state again. But overall, I got to see some great basketball this weekend, girls and boys.
So with that being said, would you say that girls stick to the more fundamental sound of basketball than boys do?
I just said that according to how we always stress
I'm just mean
is
overall, not just her, just from
Yes,
what I hear from people, girls
yes,
tend to play more fundamentally sound than boys.
they do, but at the same time, girls are trying to break out of that mold and starting to be basketball expressive. And when I say that, I mean every girl doesn't do a euro, but the ones that do, they're understanding the concept of footwork, body language. I mean body angles, and and basketball moves and playing off 2 feet. Every girl doesn't play like that. Like if you notice, certain girls don't even jump when they rebound. They just rebound like this. Well, this weekend, if you wasn't jumping for rebounds, you wasn't getting rebounds. So I think they're coming out of that mold. They're more athletic. Girls didn't train for basketball maybe 20 years ago as much as they do now. When boys always train, like girls train, they go to the gym just like the boys now. So yes, still fundamental, but I think we're gonna see like maybe in the next 5 years, just you know more razzle dazzle type, more unicorn type girls in the game of basketball.
Gotcha. Coach Bunders, to answer that question, man, very soon. I'll be getting back with you very soon. Um, about that.
I just wanted to answer one of Melvin Dude's questions real quick.
Which one? This one?
Yup.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out of everybody. I'm gonna take Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson been very impressive over this first month of the season, man. And
Yeah.
like some of the things that you don't get to see at Summer Creek, because Amari got the ball in his hand a lot, and rightfully so. I'm not gonna, question Coach Coleman. It's just good to see him doing some of the different sometimes on the AAU side, but still being able to shoot the piss out of the ball. Like he can shoot. I like Jalen Johnson a lot, and he is building a nice buzz for himself his first month of the AAU season.
I agree with you.
Coming off
Choose
a
Jalen
good
as well.
playoff too.
He did. He was a big key piece in that run. He was. It's good to see him carry that over. I just want to say that.
Jalen's definitely one of them. Go ahead,
I got Jacob Hudson.
Hudson. I like what I've been seeing from Hudson as well.
Kid, I was just trying to see if he would be consistent. He would have flashes here and there, flashes here and there, but it seems like he's putting it together. He's hitting buzzer beater threes. He's dunking now. Looking a little bit more confident in what his body frame is, because he's built for it. But does he put it together every game? And as of late, he had a good run at the gas. Bless you.
God bless.
Coronavirus.
No. I'm gonna hop back on. I'm gonna hop back on Cole Raspberry. And the reason why I say that, I think he gonna be a piece of what I'm gonna talk about today on my on my part today. But I really like his development and what I see. And not only do I see what he's doing, I mean, because I pay attention to a lot of other stuff. I follow Dash, and that kid's in the gym working on his body every day, and I can see it. Like I can see his body developing. I can see him getting faster. I can see him guarding Like I said, I seen him not only this weekend, but also when my team played him a couple weeks ago when they gave us a good 30 piece on my 17s. He did a lot of different things than what I seen during the season at Cy Ranch. He's doing a lot of other stuff. He's putting the ball on the floor, things like that. And I like what I seen from Trevor Frank this weekend too. I'm gonna be real with you. Trevor Frank to me right now has one of the nicest decision making of taking the right shot. A lot of times he would get guys off the ground with the three, rip through, get to the mid game, mid range, and find his spot in the area and knock down a shot. He wasn't forcing the three, where I see a lot of kids take a lot of contested closeout threes instead of just getting a guy off the ground, rip by, and take that mid range if you can't get to the rim. And I seen him do a lot of that in the championship game, and it looked real good, like real good. So I will say that as well. And then I got to piggyback off of Jalen because, again, he was shooting the ball very well as well. So.
Yeah, I was going to say Jalen Johnson also, but then my second one is, this was right on cue, Tyshawn, man.
I can't talk about him.
Yeah, you can't say nothing. But no, like for me, like I went to a couple of Sea King games this season. He didn't really do that much as he did, like especially when he played against Jalen Griffin, a kid who is like known nationally, came down from Chicago with the team Illinois International, and they went at each other. They went at each other, and that right there. And then I seen them like weeks prior playing 17s as well. And so just for me seeing like kind of like what you guys were saying, seeing them outside of the school setting. And so since we're on it, before we get into Ant segment, a lot of kids play different in the summer than they do at their schools because they have a different role. And so a lot of times in school basketball is more system driven. A lot of coaches don't adapt to the players that they have. Instead, I'm going to make you play my system because this is what has always worked for me, or this is all that I know. And so we're going to play my system instead of, okay, I got some newer guys in. The system's not really working. I need to revamp things. And so I feel that with a lot of grassroots basketball, there is a lot of one-on-one basketball at times in grassroots basketball. That part I don't like. But a lot of times in grassroots basketball, you have guys who allow guys to be themselves and create a system around them when they're in the game. And so, a lot of grassroots teams may have multiple different plays or multiple different looks for specific guys. And it's not just a one man show. And then everybody else just kind of, if you open, take the shot. And so I think that's the big difference that we see with grassroots from high school basketball. I could be wrong, but that's just once again, my opinion.
Hey, you know who stick out to me the most when you say that? It's one kid that stick out that fit that narrative so well every time I hear you say it. Matthew Lewis. He plays so different in the summertime than he do. And it's
we had that conversation, Rob. I remember that conversation.
No disrespect
Rob.
to Coach Plowden. They made it to the regionals. I don't know how he gonna fit him in this year. He's just so like y'all remember last year, like Matthew Lewis was like one of the hottest dudes going into school. Everybody like, man, who is that? Like when he played Ridgepoint, like I had seen Ridgepoint like 9 times. Like this kid, he killing it. He just stick out to me when we. Yeah, and I remember that conversation we had. He just one that really stick out to me when you say that.
You know who play the same, no matter if it's AAU or school ball, because it translates? Austin Benini.
Yeah, no, and there. That's what I'm saying. There are a lot of guys who do play the same, and then especially the guys who have that alpha role at their school. Um, usually,
But it's also the school too, though.
they usually also have that alpha role
It's also the school.
and
'Cause
grassroots as well.
Jason and the coach over there, they understand basketball from a different point of view. What I mean by that is sometimes I always say if you go get a coach who played basketball and say come out of college and coach, and he coaches, but you go get a guy who's been doing like AAU kind of like like somebody like D King, who coaches over at St. Thomas Episcopal. You know what I'm saying? The game is totally different on how they coach and how they approach and how they allow kids to grow and play within themselves. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest thing that sometimes that is different for kids and depending on where they go to school at. And like GJ said, depending on what type of role they have and what, in that sense of form. So.
All right, man. We got what you talking about, Willis, coming up next.
That him! What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Willis?
What's good, world, man? It's been a minute, for me since I've been on here. But today, I really want people to comment and really, really, really tell me how they feel about this. And it's really just kind of like a question, two questions within itself. One of the biggest things that I've always seen in the basketball world is parents understanding what the word of development means. Meaning that a lot of parents think that word sounds bad. Like if they play on a developmental AAU team or they're on a team that, may not be playing in some big tournaments and things like that. But when you think about it, and like I was talking earlier about guys like Cole Raspberry, Kobe Raspberry, the different guys in that world where over time they may have been known as shooters early on. And then when coaches, let them know what they need to improve and things like that, to me, what is the big issue with parents and kids wanting and feeling that everyone is supposed to be on the stage, everyone is supposed to have this type of recognition when sometimes they're not even ready for it? What is wrong with developing yourself and really putting yourself in a position so when that exposure does come, you don't get exposed? And when are people going to realize that, if your kid is 5'9", 5'8", 5'10" at best as a freshman, and you as his father and mother are, 6 foot and 5'5", and all you can do is shoot, when we gonna realize that, it's the development is about being able to play through your mistakes, play through the things, and get better and not worry about wins and losses or worry about who see you score this many points, this and that. It's about the finished product, to where the biggest thing that we all should be worried about is that when you step on the floor, you're going to have things that you need to improve. But to me, kids should understand that as each year, you should get better with something that's going to put you in the position to help you get to the next level. And I'm not understanding now, what is the problem with developing? Like, I feel like everybody think, oh, my kid is elite. He needs to be on this stage, or, oh, he needs a little bit more record. He needs to play against competition. Like, the last time I checked, everybody can play in any type of tournaments. It don't matter. And there's competition at every level. But you got to learn how to have competition within yourself, where if you look in the mirror and look at yourself and be honest with yourself, like my boy Rob said earlier, like just be honest with yourself on who you are and realize that if you just work on you and worry about you, everything in the long run will work out. But I think the biggest problem is, like we talked about, is that we continue to worry about what the next man got or the next man is doing. And I feel like that's, again, another one of the problems is that everyone thinks developing is bad. Like if you last check, a lot of the big time guys, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, them type of guys, they wasn't good starting off. And I know that story continues to be talked about, but I feel like it's something that needs to be finally understood, that everybody got to go through a developmental stage in their life. Some development is longer than others. Some only have to develop certain things because they have just natural God-given talent. And then some, hey, their development is just about improving little things from here and there that just helps them be a lot more dominant than what they already are. But I'm just tired of people thinking that development is an issue. We all got to develop. We all got to grow. We all got to improve. So at some point, realize that sometimes if you take the time to develop, you will realize that what you really want in the long run will work itself out. But if you don't, then you're going to end up like some of these people who continue to be the same player every year. It's like that broke dude who been broke his whole life. Realize that you're not doing something right. Or that same chick who continue to mess with the same dudes who keep messing over them, keep cheating on them. Bruh, change up. Realize. Choose different. So I just want people's opinion on just like what's wrong with developing? Like what's wrong with that?
I honestly don't feel anything is wrong with development. It kind of goes back to what 630 Saints has said, that we live in a society where everyone wants everything quick and easily accessible. That's something that I say all the time. We live in a microwave society. We live in a fast food society. I want to pull up to the drive-thru. Hey man, can I get an order of a side step with a crossover with a hezzy game? Hey, little light on the hezzy game though. And then we pull up to the window. We expect to get it, and it just happens. And then it goes back to, and I'm always going to use this from now on. Quote Coach Stewart, Curtis Stewart, as he told me to stop calling him Mr. Stewart. As he said, just because I'm sitting next to Michael Jordan and I rub his elbows, don't mean all of a sudden I'm going to become Air Day. It's not going to happen.
That's true though.
Yes.
But I think the biggest thing for me is this, and I'm again, Rob been knowing me for a while, here and there, like, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people may not know what I have accomplished or what I have done. So I'm gonna talk about a kid who most people thought was they didn't think he wasn't good, but they didn't think what he got was what he supposed to get. Trey South from Klein Collins. Regardless of a walk-on or not, he ended up getting a Division I offer at Central Arkansas. And when his senior season started, he was a kid who could shoot the ball well. He was athletic. He can guard, things like that. But that kid took the time out that whole year working with me, going over to R9, playing against college guys in the gym. And, like, by the end, he ended up going to a Division I school through the pandemic. So, and not once did he ever question or worry about who he was playing for or what team he was on or, I need this, and that. But it's millions and millions of kids that I've helped that play Division I, play Division II, who just took their time and went on and kept working. And I just feel like at some point we have to realize, man, that like that microwave situation or what the next man got, I want, like, I'm just going to be real. Like, everybody on here, like I always say, we all live 4 different, totally different lives. Each one of us may got something that each of us don't have. But does it really matter? No. Because at the end of the day, whatever I got. Whatever G-Day got, he got. Whatever Gary got, he got. Whatever Rob got, he got. Hey, I like that, though. I do need that, though. But the biggest thing is that authentically, we make this show what it is because we got 4 different people on here giving their best for who they are. And that makes this show be what it is. And that's the biggest thing that I think a lot of kids and parents are misunderstanding. Man, look, there's a such thing, and it's never going to change, that's called a role. And in life, you're going to play a role at a job, in a relationship, anything you do in life, there's a role in anything we do. And sometimes we got to develop in that role. So I just, it's just continue. I know we kind of talk about the same stuff in different angles, but a lot of players need to understand, and parents need to understand, like, man, it's nothing wrong with developing, man. Nothing wrong with developing.
There's nothing wrong with it. And I'm with Coach Stewart, man. And I think this is part of the reason why parents, when you pay for something, you expect something. And then when promises are made that aren't going to be true, you still expect something. And then people only want to hear what's good. They don't want to hear what's bad. And people want instant gratification. And this goes back to what we said in a couple episodes ago. We also live in a championship society where everybody's a champion. Everybody's a winner. Everybody gets an award. This ain't the Oprah show, man. It ain't. Everybody can't get it. You just can't. It just is what it is. You have to work for what you want. And I agree with you. You have a role in on the job, relationships, whatever. Look, Michael Jordan was the star for the Bulls. He's not considered to be a star owner. He's not. He's not. And so I could be the star. I could be the star and ball so hard. But I'm not a star player on the basketball court.
No, for sure. I mean, basketball is just a microcosm of life, man. Like, you're not going to walk, like, and when I say that, it's because when we talk about stuff in different angles, but it's stuff that need to be talked about because it continue to happen. Like, you're doing your child a disservice if you moving him from team to team to team to team to team. Because he get a college scholarship, things don't go his way. Okay, I'm transferring. Okay, I'm transferring again. You get a job. Okay, I'm quitting this job. I'm going to. I tell my kids all the time, I don't like all my bosses. I don't like all my coworkers. I don't like going to work sometimes, but I have to do it. It's a role that I have to play. I'm not the boss in my job. I don't walk in and make decisions and tell people what to do. That ain't the role that I play. But the role that I do play, I play it very well. That you have to find your niche. You can't always be the star. You can't always be the one. Sometimes you got to be the one setting the screen for the dude that's hitting the shot or making the pass or getting the rebound and throwing the outlet pass ahead. You can't always be the dude dunking or making the three-pointer. Everybody want to be, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. No, what about look at us? What about look at what we did instead of what I did? How about that? Because
they can't.
When y'all win, I win. That's how I feel. Yep. When G-Day win, I win. When Coach Ant win, I win. When Gary win, when all my friends, when my brothers win, I feel like I won too.
And I think the other thing is, and I'll be real, like, I think sometimes people, especially in the grassroots, I think it's more about like, okay, well, I'm on this team and I'm with these guys and they're not at my level or this, and that. And I'm like, okay, let's say they're not. But if your role, say, is to become a point guard, improve and do different things with guys and stuff like that, then this is one of the biggest things that I will say that I am a coach that believes in, that a lot of people may not agree to this, and I'm okay with that, is this. If you go to a school, and you're guy.
Ant got the money.
No, bro, watch out. Y'all
Hold on, I don't
tripping,
even know. There you go. To me, he this way. That's who got the money, man.
I don't got nothing. But if, let's say, you take the 8th man on 10 different teams at school and you make that an AAU team. The 8th man on every row, like the 8th man, it don't matter if it's a 15, 16, 17U team and you make it a team and you say, well, this 8th man is the best player out of this group and he's trying to move up. I feel that the best way for him to move up is to be in a situation where he could be an alpha and be a leader and learn how to compete so that once he goes back to that team and he's a little bit more confident now, he's learned how to be a little more vocal, he's learned how to be a leader, he's going to improve with those other guys. But if you always stay in a situation where you're the 8th man at your school, you're the 8th man on the AAU team, you're the 8th man here, you're going to always be that 8th man or that 9th man. So for me, I just feel that sometimes people don't understand it's levels and also realize it's levels in high school, it's levels in grassroots. You know, you may think this is that, and it's like, nah, like I just feel like at some point, if you ain't good at being a point guard, and you're a freshman or you're not good at this, you need to take the time your freshman and sophomore year be somewhere with a team where you can develop. Where some of these kids will go play, well, I got to go play with this team because this team, you know, I got to be on this EYBL. Bro, you're not getting no better. Oh, I got to go play for this team or this and that, but you playing the same role that you was playing here. You're going to go play that same role. Like, it's just, you know, and I always try to, you know, I know I may not, you know, think that, you know, be the person to be telling people this, but I always try to make kids feel like, hey, everybody can go to college. But that's not true. But I feel like at some point there's levels of college. It's Lone Star, it's D3, it's you know, Christian school, all that. So at some point you got to improve and do what you got, you know, to get better at what you got going on. It's just, I feel like some people need to understand that. D2 walk on, Big 12 scholarship team captain.
Man, it's wild bad. And so
yeah,
you have to trust the process. And so this was the process. He went D2. He was a walk-on. Ended up getting a Big 12 scholarship. Ended up becoming a team captain. He outlasted competition because he trusted the process. He developed. He worked hard. He didn't care what nobody said. And so, and a lot of kids have to understand that. Look, certain people gonna say certain things. It's not always gonna be pretty, friendly. It ain't gonna make you feel good. But if this is something that you really, really want, you gotta go after because can't nobody determine how far you truly can go. Only you can do that. But you gotta be willing to push yourself beyond the limits that you thought was possible. I was laughing because I was reading the comments. I wasn't laughing at what you were saying, Ant, but
no, I know.
Coach Bobby on here.
Him and Carl.
What games we've been watching?
Him and Carter. These boys tripping. Say April our month, bro. Let that A-Leaf come out.
Hey, we developing out here, bro.
And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. It ain't. It ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
They're gonna be better. They're gonna be better players and people after they left our program than when they came.
And that's fine. And that's what it should be about.
Exactly.
Hey, boy, some of y'all clean than a whistle and y'all average on y'all thing.
Yeah, Arthur Brown got that head on him.
Oh yeah, man.
Mr. Dudes, we need something more than an M. Come on, bro.
Oh, he tweeting from two different pages though. He be on.
Oh yeah, he on
YouTube
Facebook
and Facebook.
He on Facebook and on YouTube, man.
Yeah, he be on it, boy. He be.
But we got to bring Mr. Dudes on one day.
Yeah, I am, man. But no, I agree with him on that. You know, consistency is key, as Arthur Brown has said, and then you know, consistency shows a college coach more than any one good game. We had the Stewards on the Hoop Scoop a couple episodes ago, and they talked about how a coach, when he watched the full game film, he was watching Caleb clapping for his teammates, cheering them on. Like that's what sold them more so than, okay, we know he can play basketball. We already know he's good. Hey, what else can he do? Oh man, he's lifting his teammates up when they down, they not doing good. He's like, hey y'all, next play. He's not dwelling on something. And all those little those are called intangibles. Those little intangible things go a long way, man. You can't be cussing out
Big
the
fact.
coach all the time,
Big
cussing out the referees, and then, oh yeah, I'm gonna do better, but then you're doing the same thing game after game after game. And so that ugly attitude is gonna eventually end up hurting you overall.
Yeah,
Just saying, I've seen it happen year after year after year after year. With a lot of different kids, man.
yeah. They don't
Yeah,
believe.
this for you. Look, he said I got a fresh fit, like it's still 99. G that.
Yeah, I told
You
you,
see the
but
wind. You see, he got
you
the
see.
wind blowing a jacket.
I knew he was about to hit you on
Hey,
the Facebook with the
Hey, that's what Usher did on that Let It Burn video. He threw the jacket in. Hey, Mr. Deuce, respect. I see. I knew you had something better than that whack ass M. I knew you did. That's fire. What, Mr. Dang, Mr. Or I know I'm not Mr. Landon. You a chef?
Mr. Ardone.
I will say this:
Hey,
coaching your own kid is one of the toughest things to do.
I couldn't do it.
I coached Lil Jeff for one season. After that, I said never. I can't coach you. You get
I
somebody else
can't
got to
do
coach
it.
you.
Yep.
Somebody else
I
got to
couldn't
do
do
it,
it.
man.
That's big facts.
G Dot, you saying how you like Jeff had a good what?
I did. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna say something, but I caught myself.
I'd be the first one to be like, "Hey, sit him down, take him out the game, kick him
No,
off."
but I'd be like, you know me with kids, like, bro.
Oh, I
They gotta
know
figure it
who.
out somehow, some way.
I know who he talking about.
Hey,
Who?
no,
I know
I
who
saw
Mr.
that at the
Ardone talk.
bottom.
I know who Mr. Ardone. Go back to the
Yeah,
tweet.
boy.
Go back to the one he just put up. I know exactly
Yeah,
who
boy,
he
I
talking
saw that
about.
one.
Like, read this, and you gonna know exactly who he's talking about.
I
Oh,
put
yeah,
two
I
together.
already know.
Oh,
who that
okay,
is.
you know, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I put it. I flipped it and put it with my son, man.
Yeah. He said, "Nah, my son played for Takeover." We know.
Yeah. We know. We know
We
who
know.
Taylor is, man. Yes, sir, man. Hey, fellas, once again, appreciate the show, man. Rob, you set the stage ablaze, man.
I'm back to humble Rob next
No,
week.
we
Putting
need
the
Hoodie Rob.
glasses.
We need Hoodie Rob every time.
I'm gonna have a shave next week. The glasses will be different. Back to
No, we
humble,
need Hoodie Rob every time.
sporadic comment
man.
Rob.
Oh boy was behind the hood. Hey, he said pound for pound, ready. Let's get ready. That boy was like, hey.
Shout out to RIP DMX, man. My boy.
You know what I'm saying? Coming to the
What
ring.
the dogs at?
6'6". Straight out of you. Hey, my boy was ready, boy. Hey, who ready, boy?
No,
Looking
man.
like Lennox Lewis.
Oh yeah, man, Coach Stewart, you gonna have to go. You gonna have to,
We got to go
as soon
back
as
and
it's
listen
over,
to
you gonna have to
the
start
first beginning
watch
of the show.
man. Hey, Rob. Well, Rob was on one today, man.
Oh, Coach Stewart too missed it. Oh yeah. When he upload this episode, just go back and
No, that don't crip. That ain't. Hey, man, why ain't gonna be all right? I told you. We talked outside after the game.
I saw he had a good weekend this weekend.
No, why it plays good? But once
He
Wyatt does what
like 5 3
once he does what I told him and his dad, that they know what I told him. Once he starts, I'm just after he does it the first time.
I already know what you told him, and I wasn't even there. I know what
it's gonna. He has it in him. He just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once he does it,
One time, yeah.
that's it. That's all it's gonna take is the one.
Yeah.
He has it in him. He just. I hope he do it when I'm filming. That's
Look at you instigate.
Bet.
He said, when I'm filming.
That's when I want it to happen. But no, once again, man, I thank y'all, man. As Rob was saying earlier, we all come from different backgrounds, man, different affiliations, man. As I exit everybody real just for a quick second. I'm Boss
You
of
on
Heart.
mute. There you go.
No, I know. Boss of Heart. Extra eyes. OTR. Boss of Heart. It's about collaborating, wanting to work as a unit. And guess what? If we can't do that, cool. We can't. Next man up. That's just how it goes. Next man up. Next guy up. I'm all about building an umbrella, man, because when we can all have different things and do different things and bring different things to the table, and we don't have to see eye to eye on everything. We don't, and that's cool. But that doesn't make them less of a man, and that's not going to make me not respect them. But I'm just speaking on me.
That's what I'm saying. It ain't worth it out here to.
Hey man, before we go, this is a very good question.
That's the Perry fault.
No. Hold on.
Hey, stop that.
This
Stop
is
that,
a
Rob.
really good question.
Hey,
Hey,
Rob,
Mr. Dudes, would you
said
like to
earlier,
come
Rob,
run the clock and the book at
we got
Jim
we got to hold accountability,
Hold
Rob.
on.
This is
Hold
a
on.
very good question.
Is that they can't make you run the clock or the book or do the books if you pay your money to be a spectator? That's a
No,
decision you have to make
but
on
that's
your
not.
own.
But that's
Hold
not
on,
what.
hold
But that's
on.
not the question. That's not
Hold
the
on.
question.
Hold on. A lot of events, they say it, you must provide scorekeeper or someone to do the book. And so, who does this? If that event does have some events don't put it in their rules, but a lot do. So if it's in the rules, who does this fall on?
The
The
team.
coordinator or the coach?
It falls on the
On the coach.
coach to
On the
choose
coach.
because
No,
let's
it
just
falls
be
on the
honest.
coach. It falls on the
It's only
coach.
like that because teams don't want to pay tournament fees. Well, that's in the tournament fee. Well, if you don't want to pay it, you need to provide it.
Well, but what he's saying is like, okay, if I'm a coach and I get sent the rules and they tell me I gotta provide a scorekeeper or a books person, and I have to get one of my parents to do it every game, like that they have, like I have to do it, then I should pay for their ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like I should pay for their ticket
Why
as a
not
coach.
put them down as a coach?
Because some tournaments won't allow you to have more than one coach. Now, like some places that you have two, like you plus two coaches, but some be like, nah, just you and one other coach. And I mean, for me, I have an assistant coach on my 14U team. You know, my 16U team, we have an assistant coach. Now, granted, for guys like me, I can get other people coaches in, but I'll get my fiance will come and do the books. I mean, that's just she with me everywhere I go. I'm too fresh to run. I feel you.
That's real.
So, but it's also one of those things that, like, to me, there should be a paid scorekeeper and clock person on every floor for every tournament. And the reason why I say that is that one, that takes away any problems with the clock not starting and it's another parent or the books get messed up and everything. Like it takes away from all that issues and problems right there.
There you
You
go.
know what I'm
G.
saying? So, exactly. So that's what I'm like. That's my thing, so, but.
Now I can say that I have coached and ran the clock before.
I have to, yeah.
I've coached from running the clock.
Bro, this year, like early on, I had that boy Grayson while doing the books. I said to myself, never again. Never again. Like, I had to yank him. I had to yank him and was like, oh, who follow? Nah. Like, and it wasn't a problem, but at the same time, like, who trying to do all that, dog? So I know if you coaching and running the clock, what's the time off like? You let them come to the table? How does that go?
Yeah, that's how it worked, man.
So like I know, like
everybody, I was subbing from the table. I was standing up, working the clock, subbing, calling out plays. Hey, I was on point starting this time though.
Hey, Mr. Dooley Wilder, go down to his comment. That is too funny.
Hey, y'all gonna learn. All refs ain't to be beat up on. You might catch a chat like
that. I know that. I done seen some dudes slide a couple people mistaking for the wrong mistaking.
Fool you out here.
I'm about to say, don't let that stripes even shirt fool you.
Exactly.
They're not all his levels to the ref, as my bad coach.
Exactly. It's levels, bro. It's levels. It's levels. So, hey, I done seen some go to the trunk and be like, you was talking all that? Like, it's levels, bro. It's levels.
If we can't have you at the clock, man.
Miss Tiffany got a good point though. It be the parents that don't know.
Back at the parent. It ain't just gonna be the parents cussing at Tiff. Tiff gonna be cussing back at the parents.
Oh yeah, Miss Sanders.
She ain't gotta do no books. She ain't gotta do no books. She ain't gotta do no books.
We know that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
What you know over there, Aunt?
I'm just saying that we ain't gonna put we not gonna put Miss Sanders on no clocks ever.
Ever.
She ain't never gotta be on no clocks, man. Don't worry. She good.
I ain't know that about Jalen. Sometimes you can't keep pushing kids, man.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna beat you up one day.
Yeah, he went through a lot of that.
Yep. Yeah, it is the book because I said I had the time going right. I ain't say I had the story going right, but my time was on point. Stop on the time.
Period.
Can a brother get some free concessions or something?
I mean, yeah, that's what you would think. Like, hey man, we enjoyed y'all. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll be back.
Just on a good note, kind of talk about what my boy Rob said. Hey, shout out to all the Houston teams who went down to Dallas and represent well. Houston Hoops did very well, 16s and 15s. JL3, McCullum won their bracket.
Undefeated this year.
Exactly.
Lost a game.
Hey, good shout out to all the Houston teams who went down and represented very well, and all the kids who played well as well. Going down to guys so far who own the state. So that's a big shout out to those guys. And then also shout out to Jason. One of his comments earlier about Team Norris, Team JL3. They do got some good guys on that team as well. A lot of those guys on that roster been playing well this summer. A lot of them.
He counted 4
Oh
points.
man. Hey, he said
we are not putting Mr. Dudes on the clock at none of my events.
Never.
Or Mr.
Hey,
I'm not going to hit him up. Be like, hey man, look.
If y'all
He
are
gonna be
free
playing,
Wednesday, pull up and
he gonna be playing slam ball rules.
Big time.
What'd you say, Gary? Say that again.
I say if y'all are free on Wednesday, come pull up to MI3. We got Gymkhana, the girls all-star game, Wednesday, 5:30 p.m.
This Wednesday? Man, you supposed
5:30?
we supposed to run that at the beginning.
Yeah, what you talking about? This dude here, bro. This type of dude here, bro.
We're gonna have to do a Gymkhana show tomorrow.
Then he casually
He
casually
because we probably gonna have to pick the rosters live on the show. Shout out Lathan, shout out Easy.
I'm here for it, man.
I'm
my daughter ain't got no practice tomorrow.
Hey, how much are your services?
Because Bobby wants you to give him them 4-pointers, Mr. Dude.
He said, hey, how much is your services? Hey, shout out to my boy. Bobby say,
Raptors, man.
He say, how much is your services? Hey, see, Bobby was talking about I got the money. He got here about to pay all. See, Bobby the one got the money. See, Bobby got the money. He offering jobs already.
But hey, tomorrow we're gonna have a special edition. We'll be back. Gymkhana All-Star Selection. Hey, first of its kind. You don't see too many. You've never seen a high school selection show live. Hey, we might even bring the girls on as we select every once in a while. Might do an NBA draft style. Hey, you know, man. This is the platform, man. That's what it's about, man. It's about branding, networking. It's about training the younger people how to interview, all of that, man. And so, man, Rob still got me fired up a little bit. And so there are media people in Houston who do interviews. Don't get it twisted. That's not just a Dallas thing.
It's coming.
Hey,
it's not.
Hey, say it. Ooh, boy.
It's coming.
Say it with your chest, Mr. Day.
It's coming. Hey.
Who held the camera? Never mind. That's another show, another day.
I just had to. Cause Rob, see, Rob put the hood back. Rob ready to go back to hoodie.
It's the graceful bow out, man.
Finna go away, man.
Hey, you ready? You ready, Rob? You ready? Hey,
Nah, I'm good.
You didn't want the belt. You about to leave the ring? All right, I got you.
That's the graceful bow out, man. You gotta leave by the game, bro.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Coach Stewart talking about say it again. Coach, that was about 30 minutes of talking.
Yeah. Hey, nope, D King, you right, D King. Rob, you remember?
Man, you don't need me to interview you. You don't all on the chop shop today. You don't need me to interview.
Hold on, D King has a point. He got on the chop shop today. You were supposed to interview him way before. I'm talking about back when we was at Sloan's event for the high school kids, man. The little camp.
Whose side are you on, G-Day? D King ain't on this platform. Look, you supposed to be riding with me, bruh. You ain't gonna get Courtney Dion to go against D King.
There you go.
Hoodie Rob come out.
He coming out, man. He ready.
Hey,
man, look, I'm mad though. No,
hey,
man.
I'm bobbing and weaving. Hands up, Rob.
Nah, but seriously though, man. I'll be remiss. I noticed at the end of the show, Miss Miles too from Dallas. She also does a good job of reporting and evaluations too. So I
Yeah,
don't want
no,
to
yeah.
I don't want to be
There's a lot
disrespectful
of
to
good.
Miss
There's a lot
Miles.
of good evaluators in
Yeah,
Dallas, man.
yeah.
I just was saying because I had seen this, and I wasn't gonna say nothing, but you put your hood back on, so it fired me up.
Oh,
So they said that only Dallas does interviews. I'm just saying that's not true.
it's not. That's definitely not true. It's definitely not true.
Whoever
Dr.
they
King.
is,
That's it, man. That's all I'm saying.
hey, you lucky I didn't see who they is. 'Cause what's that
Nah,
emoji? I mean, what's that meme when the dude's wiping his glasses? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I don't know about that.
D King, we are gonna get you on here, man. I'm gonna hold Rob accountable to that for sure, man.
Oh man.
All right, guys, I gotta go grind out some content. Make sure everybody know the location and address. Simple things on this Monday.
Mr. Stewart finna get us fired back up, boy.
Nah, no, I ain't. I'm not. I got no.
Hey, let's get off.
Stewart gonna get his fire back
I'm gonna hit
up.
the leave
Rob.
button on that.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
Rob gonna
Rob
call.
fin-
Rob can't call in sick on this show, man.
Nah, man, nah. But nah, D King, we gonna get you. We gonna get you on it though, for sure. Great job what you doing with the young kids at the Hoops 15 YouTube, man. We see you. We see you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, but until next time, shot clock. We out.